The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
It's easy to tell if you've had way too many. But what if you've had just one too many?
Life is full of spirit. We have a lot of extracurricular activities in the school that I really like participating in.
There's definitely like different cliques and everything, but they're not exclusive. You pretty much, everybody's friends with one or two cliques, and they commingle and everything outside of school.
I like that vibe that you get from walking in there. The diversity is pretty huge. You got people from all over the county and farther just to come, so yeah, you definitely feel that as well.
I think our school has a lot more school spirit than most. A lot of people go out and support all the teams. I know a lot of schools don't have a lot of school spirits or pep rallies or powder puff, and so everyone has a lot of fun. And everyone's really close, so everyone pretty much knows everyone.
You have to go to school, so you might as well try to enjoy yourself while you're there.
I really want to get into college. Specifically, I want to try to apply to the Naval Academy and get in, maybe major in engineering or something that has to do with math.
I want to go to college, and I want to be a neonatal nurse and work with babies. And I want to eventually have my own barn and my own horses and have kids. So.
Anybody at York that knows me, I mean, they know that I've had this band going on, for the longest time. It's definitely safe to say that this is where I want to go with my life. I mean, I've worked hard for it for the past 6 years. I mean, we started basically from nothing. Now we just opened up our own studio and about to come out with our, first album. When you start seeing things, come and start seeing things form, with what you love to do, it's really just, it's awesome. Sound good? I think that I'm supposed to be here because, so many things are happening in the right direction. So this is where I hope to stay, and I hope it turns out for the better, no matter which course that takes. I definitely want to stay somewhere in the music business because that's where my heart is. I work for my father, but I'm a granite fabricator. And, so we get these big slabs of granite, and they come in, they go through the saw, and then, get cut down to size. And then after that, that's where I come in, and I polish it all, route it, until where it's ready to go out for installation.
Wait a minute. Nope, you gotta put the double zero. I want to be a pediatric nurse, so I'm going to Radford to study nursing, and then I'll go to grad school somewhere to get my pediatric certification for nursing. I love kids. They're easy for me to understand. 3 o'clock. You gotta write 3 right there. You gotta write 3 right there. I was gonna be a teacher, but I couldn't do the same thing every day, all the time, so nursing would be different because you'd have different patients and everything every day. 10 plus 1 more. 11. I love helping the kids because at the beginning of the year it's really hard to get them to do things, but then by the end of the year they know how to count, they can read. It's fun to see the transformation in them and know that you helped with that.
I'm the manager of the team along with Casey Neal, and we help out at all the matches and at practices to like shag balls and get water and set up the courts for matches so that way they're ready. Also with swimming, I've been doing this swimming team for 3 years now. I joined the marching band this year as a color guard, and we went to states competition, and we didn't expect to win, but we went in there knowing that we were going to place pretty high. And when they called the second place person and you knew it wasn't you and you were the only one they hadn't called, everybody just like breathed in. We were so excited. We were told not to make noise until our name was called, and then they called York for state champion, and everybody was just so happy, and everybody was hugging, and it was a great moment.
I like volunteering at church. I volunteer every Sunday with the 1-year-olds, and then afterwards we always go to my Nana's house and have a family dinner, and I love spending time with my family. Go the other way. I definitely do love riding on the weekends outside of school. It's just a very friendly environment, and bonding with an animal, and people that are on sports teams, they have other people that are your teammate, but when you're out riding, it's just you and the horse, you connect, and you know, the horse is your teammate.
Do you want that McChicken plain too?
I like working at McDonald's because there's always something to do, and you always have to be on your feet, and you have to budget your time wisely between getting drinks and getting orders and restocking up front. And I just love the people that work there. They're all really helpful when you first get on because it's really hard to just pick things up.
There you go.
They're all really encouraging, and it's a lot of fun.
My thing is pack up the truck, go to the lake. And that for me, that's, you know, I got really good memories from that. So I like to keep them memories alive, make new ones.
We have like movie marathons where we watch a whole bunch of movies in one day. Like we shut out the curtains and everything, and we like to go out places, like to get like a ice cream or things like that. Since I can drive now, I like to take them places.
One of my favorite things is when we all went to the White House for the 4th of July party. I went with my mom, my dad, my sisters, and it was definitely very memorable and a lot of fun. I shook the president's hand and talked to the First Lady, and they had a lot of fun stuff going on. There was fireworks at the end.
We do a lot of like dinners with our extended family because my family's been living here for many years. I'm growing up in the same house that my dad grew up in, so we get together with a lot of our family around here for dinners or birthdays or any celebration like that.
I think I was in 3rd or 4th grade. All of my cousins who were born at the time and we all went down to Disney World for like a week. I just remember being at Disney World just having the best time, and I love looking at those pictures because everybody looks so young and so tired and all, because it was in the middle of the summer, but I just remember being with them and just being in the parks, and it was really fun.
This past summer, we had lucked in on taking a trip to Greece, which was huge. Nobody in my family has ever been out of the country. When we went there, that's a whole nother world. I loved every minute of that trip. Preston! Preston!
Oh my God, what just happened?
Ladies, are you all right?
Please, yeah, she's not answering me. She won't answer me when I talk to her.
Hey! Stop.
What just happened?
Yeah, what's wrong?
What's just happened? What's going on?
Yeah, it's okay, it's okay.
Emily?
On the way.
Please help us.
I'm driving for the truck.
The truck.
Yeah.
Currently have one BLS patient, one ALS patient, and one code gray.
Texting my mom, telling her I was on the way home. And next thing you know, I ran to them.
All right, we're going to start cutting this door up, okay?
Follow the pen with just your eyes. Do not move your head. Do you understand?
Yeah.
All right. Keep following your eyes.
Be advised, fire department extricating 2 patients. Possible 1 DOA.
1,000, 2 1,000.
Just let your heart go. Several beer bottles in the bottom of the car.
9 1,000. 10 1,000.
Yep. All right, give me 2 seconds.
Bring it to touch the tip of your nose and back out. When I tell you right hand, you do the same thing. To the tip of your nose, back out. How many beers have you had, Jack?
I didn't want that many, just a couple. I swear, just a couple. It was a while ago. Yeah, 2.
Let's get the BLS out of the way, and then we'll get her out.
You take 9 steps, touching heel to toe.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I stopped.
Set her down right here. Out of the way, so we can get her strength. 130 and 78 deep breathe. You want to go straight out? Yeah, let's go straight out.
Take a deep breath in. All right. Blow, keep blowing, keep blowing, keep blowing, keep blowing, keep blowing. Keep blowing. Stop.
You ready? Yes.
Operations. Captain, we need to transfer command to you.
0.08. You're being placed under arrest. Consumption of alcohol. Driving while intoxicated. Okay, do you understand?
Yeah, I got it.
Look what you did, man. You just killed her. I don't think she wanted to die.
All patients are off the scene. We have one DOA being turned over to the funeral home at this time.
Ready? Jump. No.
Unrestrained driver of a car. Abdomen slightly rigid. Just two to the right side. Our stats are a little bit better. All right, we have our tube in on the right.
Did you hear the family's here?
Yeah, she is not moving anything. She is not making any purposeful movement, and her pupils are fixed and dilated. Let's get her prepped for the CT scanner.
Are you going to blow me, Dad?
As you can see, she's not breathing on her own. She's not moving anything on her own. My concern is that she has a head injury.
Have you tried everything you can do?
Yes, we have. She may have an injury severe enough to cause what we like to call brain death, or a situation where her brain is not functioning. So
do everything you can, Dad.
We certainly will.
Blow one long, continuous breath inside the tube, okay? Okay. You're going to hear an audible tone from the machine that tells me and you that you're blowing, and you're also going to see lines coming across the bottom, okay? When the lines come across, 2 lines or better, you should be able to have no problems. You're a young man.
You ready? I want you to take blow. Blow, 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 blow. Good, you can stop.
All right, young man. Your VAC is a 0.08.
All right, Karate. Her name's Kirsten Davis, so you know we're gonna have to tell her mom and dad.
Yeah, this is not gonna be fun.
It's always upsetting on the fact of having to tell a parent that their child died. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, she was very young. Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Are you Kirsten Davis's dad?
I am.
Do you have somewhere we can sit down for a second and speak with you?
Yeah, sure. Come on in.
All right. Mr. and Mrs. Davis, I'm sorry to come by your house at this time. Kirsten Davis has been in a serious car accident in the area of York High School, Route 17. Unfortunately, she did not make it and she passed away.
Oh my God.
Mrs. Davis, is there anyone I can contact for you? Or call? Is there anything I can do?
Just time spent with family and knowing the love of her sisters, and she does special things with her sisters that she doesn't know that her dad and I know about. She will go in at night and sing to her sisters before they go to sleep, and they've sort of become accustomed to having her do that.
One of the things I enjoy the most with her is taking road trips. Most recently, I took her to her first Indianapolis 500. We just got in a car and we drove, and we had an amazing time. If it wasn't going to races, she loved the Chicago Cubs. We would get in the car and we'd go drive the Wrigley Field in Chicago and sit in the bleachers.
She has a big heart and loves her family, and I love watching her ride on horses. She has a big love for horses, and to watch her ride is like one of my favorite things.
She doesn't always need mom and dad looking over her shoulder, knowing that she's going to do the right thing. I know that she has the courage to always do the right thing.
All parties having please introduce the prosecutor or defendant. Motions or any other business come forward, and you shall be heard.
Are we ready for Mr. Cunningham?
Yes, sir.
Please court, this is Mr. Cunningham. I was retained to represent him in this matter.
Thank you, Mr. Roberts. And I understand we are here for sentencing this afternoon. Am I correct on that?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Defendant having previously pled guilty and found guilty of 2 counts of manslaughter as well as count of driving under the influence?
that's correct. Yes, sir. On behalf of my client, Mr. Cunningham, I ask that the families of Emily and Kristen, and for that matter, all the families of York County, to accept a humbled and heartfelt apology for this tragedy. Today, I believe, is the 150th anniversary of the death of our President Abraham Lincoln. And I believe that this occasion today bears striking and sad similarities for this court to the duty that the President had on the occasion of the dedication of the National Cemetery at Gettysburg. That would have been an occasion to say, let us seek retribution. And that would have been an occasion to dwell on the evils of the opponents. He took that occasion to dedicate the sacrifice and horror and death of those young people so they had not died in vain. Now, what does that have to do with Mr. Cunningham? Well, it's obvious from the guidelines and from what I anticipate Mr. Hahn's going to say that this young man's going to jail. The question is, what purpose does it serve to send him to jail for a greater or lengthy sentence? Some may feel is merited by what happened. But if he stood on a stage in the flesh and told them what it was like, what he'd been through, and what he would no longer be able to do because of a moment's stupid decision, I submit that the message would go forth. And I submit that these 2 young ladies would not have died in vain.
Thank you. Mr. Hahn?
The same event that produces a criminal defendant produces 1 or more victims. In the courtroom, the focus is on the defendant primarily. But I say to you in this courtroom today, Your Honor, there are many in the audience who are victims every bit as much as Emily, Kristen, and Anna are. They didn't bring this suffering upon themselves. They did not choose to be victims. They had no say in the matter whatsoever. The defendant, Jack Cunningham, had a choice. Jack Cunningham chose to drink alcohol underage. Jack Cunningham chose to break the law. And early on, I named this case the Triple Deuce case because it represents 2 beers, 2 thumbs, and 2 seconds, destroying 4 families. That's all it took. 2 beers, 2 thumbs, texting, and 2 seconds for the tragedy we have today. Now, Your Honor, the choice is up to you. You must weigh the equities in this case, well pointed out by my esteemed colleague, and chose the appropriate sentence. I believe, as opposed to my learned counsel, that the deterrence effect will be far greater if the defendant is incarcerated.
Thank you. Mr. Cunningham, if you'll stand, please. Sir, is there anything you'd like to say?
No, sir.
Are you aware of any reason why sentence should not now be imposed?
No, sir.
Mr. Cunningham, clearly your life has changed. You are now a twice convicted felon, and you will carry the stigma that goes along with that for the rest of your life. But probably all of that pales into comparison with having to wake up each morning, look yourself in the mirror, and recognize that you've taken 2 lives, all as a result of some very, very foolish decision-making on your part. At this time, as to each of the 2 manslaughter indictments, the court will sentence you to 10 years in prison, suspending 8 of those 10 years on each manslaughter conviction for a period of 15 years. Mr. Cunningham, wish you the best of luck in the future, and hope again that you have not only learned from this tragic situation, but you will cause others to learn, and not the hard way that you have had to learn on your own. Thank you.
Thank you.
Court will be in recess.
All rise.
Somebody help me, please. Somebody help. Emily's not answering me.
I want this to hit people, not just an entertainment segment, not just something, you know, to make time go by. I want it to hit people.
It's not easy as a parent listening to that or going through that.
I just hope that the kids take it to heart and learn from it and never text and drive or drink and drive. But as far as a parent watching this, it's very emotional, and I hope I never have to live through it for real.
It was very real. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it before. So it was very realistic and very hard to watch.
This is real. This isn't just a skit we're putting on to entertain everybody. I mean, this is like real life. This happens all the time.
I want to know that people know that driving while drunk is very serious, and that they are going to take it as a serious responsibility, especially since all my friends are going off to college and we're going to be in situations with alcohol. And I hope that I know that I helped make a difference in them knowing that they cannot drink and drive.
I hope that they can look at it as if it really could happen to anyone, to themselves, to any of their friends, and take it seriously and not drink and drive.
I hope that other people at the school realize that drinking and driving, texting and driving is not a joke. Things can happen. I've definitely heard people talking in the hallways like, haha, yeah, I was drinking and driving, or yeah, I sent a text to my friend and I was fine, but you know, it's just that one text, it's just, you know, that one time that you have one drink and it can ruin your life.
You gotta think about your parents. You know, the one thing that they want is for their, you know, child to come home, you know, that night. And you need to make that happen, you know, no matter what the case is.
2 beers, 2 thumbs, 2 seconds. 2 beers, 2 thumbs, 2 seconds.
Oh my God, what the heck have I done?
2 beers, 2 thumbs, 2 seconds.
Oh, what have I done? What have I done? What have I done?
Thank you.